Oh, shit.
Yep.
Oh. Yep. Yep. And we're back. And we're not going anywhere, if anyone's wondering.
I'll tell you where we are going. Danny Bla's going to make a move because we're making some little waves this chess game.
Oh, yeah. Are we?
100%.
Are we?
Dude, we're like, what, one episode into a new game and we've already done...
It's not good.
Oh,
We're going.
wait, what? Oh, shit.
Welcome back
That's horrible.
to the newest episode of the Split Shift Podcast.
Split shift quad past.
Split Shift Quadcast. Oh, it's not off to a good start. Split Shift Podcast, where we cut through the bullshit and the noise of the fitness industry. My name is Dan.
My name's Jamie, and today we are playing chess for 30 minutes, and I want you to be very invested and immersed in this.
So if you're on Spotify, it's time to get out of that.
You better jump over because shit's going to get weird. We're also going to do a speed run because we know the attention spans of our viewers are similar to the attention spans of the people on the podcast, which is 2 minutes.
That's exactly right.
That is your attention span, and it's called TikTok brain, apparently.
Yeah.
I think we spoke about this before.
Many times.
And what we're going to talk about is what's actually keeping you stuck. What is keeping you stuck? And 6 reasons you are stuck and 6 ways you can overcome that stuckness. All right? What do you got to say about that?
I've got a question for you, Jimbo.
Question for me?
Yeah.
Tell me.
What are we stuck in?
Stuck in?
What are we stuck on?
Stuck on.
Stuck out?
Where you're feeling stuck.
Stuck.
It's keeping you stuck in your health and fitness world of your life.
Health and fitness.
So it could be stuck in, your plateauing with your fat loss. It could be you've stayed in this similar lifestyle for, 6 months to a year and you're not really making any progress. You might be okay with that, may not be okay with that. You may be less okay with it than you thought you were. We're going to unpack all of this today and hopefully you get a couple little takeaways because I've got 3 things. Danny's got 3 things we're going to speak about.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if you can take 1 or 2 things out of this, make some progress in your own life, that will mean the world to us and hopefully to you and everybody that you care about. And there you go. That's my 2 cents.
That's very lovely.
Either way, Dan's going to kick us off.
I want to kick it off, and I think, absolutely agree. Like, if these things help you, it really makes shit so much more cooler. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like anyway, I got the first one, 2 minutes.
2-minute timer.
Right.
3, 2, 1, 2 minutes.
Okay, so my first one is the process is too paralyzing. You're paralyzed with the actual process itself. What does that actually mean? Too much friction, too much moving parts. It's not streamlined, it's not efficient, that works with you and for you, and that can cause problems. When there is this paralyzed process where you're thinking about, I'm going to do all these things, especially if you're juggling work, life, family, all those, relevant human things, it can be really hard to navigate this life if the process isn't easy. And this is what's causing friction. So friction can be like getting to the gym. It's prepping your food. It is, getting things organized. So you've got this space in your life sorted, ready. You've ticked off this is for you. So you can put your energy into other things. This mental load, maybe small things here, small things here, small things here, can create a compounding effect that can really stop people's progress. So we want to be able to streamline this process as easy as possible so you can do the things that you also value as well, whatever it may be. So how do we do this? Is by effective planning, is by setting non-negotiable structures. It is by putting time aside in this life where you can be able to allocate small little, small little directions and things that you can be able to do. Just say, I've got this sorted. I highly recommend, and I'm a big fan of just writing it down. Use a visual guide, something like a whiteboard, or use your diary, something along the lines of that, so you can schedule it and it's out of the brain. Less mental load in here and more on there. You're going to feel a lot happier. You're going to feel a lot more confident too. So, bottom line is, we got 6 seconds. So, bottom line is, streamline the process, make it more efficient. If you feel like you're stuck, it probably means the process is a little too unrealistic. What's your thoughts?
Hell yeah. I don't like being paralyzed.
It's part.
We don't want to be paralyzed. And I like that you put at the start of that you were already clear on what you wanted as well. Like you were clear on the result, you know what you want, you know where you're going, but the process just isn't streamlined.
It's a big thing.
It's massive. And I think that you put that really fucking well. Streamline your process. If it's not going to work with your commitments in your life, because a lot of people think, you just got to nut it out and grit it out. And, you just got to fucking, like we spoke about last week, you just got to lock in and get it done. That doesn't take into account so many other factors of your life. Depending on where you're at in life, your values are so shifted. You might be a early 20-year-old that just wants to lift weights and lock in at that, has no other commitments other than World of Warcraft. And that's fine, You can lock in, you can probably lock in at the gym then. But if you're, say, a middle-aged mother of 3 that's got to work, or even a middle-aged single mother of 3 who's got to work 40 hours, still pay for the kids and pick them up after work, all this sort of shit. Yes, of course, you can still get awesome results. But if that process isn't streamlined and you're not really aligned with that end result, you're not going to get anywhere.
I think the other thing with that is that when you look at it more bigger, if we always talk about you can do in short bursts when you've got foundations, you can do unrealistic things in the short term to create a faster active change. That stuff is normal if you've got the foundations there, but for a lot of the time, going in that fast lane just doesn't work, or if there's inefficiency, it just doesn't work. So you may as well look into how can I ideally picture my lifestyle that works for me and roll with that, because chances are that's probably going to work for a very, very long time, ideally for life, and you can refine it as you go because you have a baseline that actually works for you.
And also, if you have that little frame that you've designed around my ideal life, you will change between now and then probably. But at least you've already got a base that you can make alterations to. It's like what I say when clients are tracking food. If you're going to track food for the next day, go into a day with your food already tracked. And then if shit changes, you sub a few things in and out as it changes. But you're not going in blind. If you know exactly what you just said, if you know where you're going, you know what the ideal lifestyle looks like and how that fits in with all your commitments and all your values, shit will change, but at least you have that base that you can make alterations to. Small changes rather than having to fucking create a whole new thing every time you fuck up, every time shit hits the fan or you get overwhelmed.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, streamline the process, make it easier for you, and that's 50% of the work done.
That was
not
a long time. That was a long time.
That was not 2 minutes.
There we go.
That's
pretty much enough for this episode. Let's be real.
I think we said enough. That was 4 times. It was 8 minutes.
That was back and forth. That was 8 minutes. All right.
Ready?
So my first one is going to be, you are stuck because you're choosing balance instead of choosing control. All right. Your main priority is finding this balance when the balance clearly isn't working for you, or you don't know what balance looks like. Or what I notice a lot with people I've worked with over the years is they want this balance, but don't understand that there's a sliding scale, which I've spoken about before, between flexibility and being completely adherent or strict. The further you go over to the flexibility side of things, not only will your results be damaged, maybe not damaged, but it's going to be harder to get results, but also it's going to be the results you're going to be able to get will be much harder to get. They will be harder to achieve because you are including so much flexibility. When you're all the way over to this side of the scale, over to that strict adherent side of the scale, the results will be fucking so easy to get. You'll get results fast. You'll see them fast. You'll be blown away. Your friends will be blown out, but you're not going to fucking keep them. Unless you have no life and your only commitments are World of Warcraft, you're likely only going to keep them for a short period of time, unless you do actually have no life. So what we want to do is find a balance in the middle, but you need to be realistic about what balance actually means to you and what balance looks like for your results. So instead of choosing balance, dude, relax, it's all good.
Sorry.
Instead of choosing balance, choose, I want to have control. I want to have that flexibility, but choose where I want that flexibility. Okay, I want to go out for dinner this weekend. All right. That means that I'm probably not going to go out for dinner 3 times during the week also, because that is not balanced. I know that balance will put me into a calorie surplus, or I'm going to have to half-ass and not really be present in those times because I'm going to need to control my calories when I'm out. Whereas I could go out once that week and actually just be fully present, not worry too much about what I'm eating because I know I have enough of a, calorie balance to, you know what I'm fucking saying. We're 2 minutes, but you get the idea. Shoot for control instead of just balance. All right, the balance will come once you have that control. Then you can pick and choose where you want to put that balance while still maintaining and achieving awesome results.
That's a good one. That's a very, very good one. Well said too. I like the order of how you...
The Water Warcraft thing.
That was very relevant.
I don't know what's going on with Water Warcraft today.
It's a fun game, apparently. I've never played it, but...
I've never played it either, but I know it takes up a lot of time.
A lot of time, a lot of brain power. Gotta really lock in on that one. But you said control and then balance. And I think that's an important order because it's true. Because like balance is a hot word and it is something that I preach a lot to clients as well. But there needs to be a level of understanding of how to create the balance that actually works for you. To do that, you need to gain control, because even balance can be thrown in as an excuse to say, I'm just balancing, I'm just living balance, but you're not there. You're not at the result that you want, or you haven't been, there's been barriers for that. And if you're excusing it as, it's because of balance, I'm like, that's fine, but you're just not going to get to where you want to go because we're a little bit too far over this flexibility side. We need to find where you can be able to gain control and then integrate these things, these habits actually work for you as well. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of that.
Definitely control first. That goes for everything. Emotional eating, is a massive one for a lot of people as well. Making sure you're actually gaining control of that and finding out where the source of your problems are. Get control in this area of your life. Learn discipline, learn to be able to back yourself and trust yourself, gaining that control over yourself and your own habits, and then directing balance where you actually want it, living a lifestyle that you want to live, but you got to be able to gain that control first.
100%. And if you don't know how to, you've got a lot of support out there that does, psychologists, coaches, and all that good stuff there. We all are here
not us.
For your well-being, not us.
No shit.
I got the next one. So my next one, the second reason that's keeping you stuck, why was that so hard to say? Your circle has too much power over you and your goals. Your circle of influence, the people that you surround yourself with in the day-to-day, and it's huge. It's actually paramount. So when it comes to, looking at the bigger picture long-term, who you surround yourself with is really can be make or break. And people can be really supportive. People can also be not so supportive or create destructive habits. Maybe they don't even mean to, maybe they do mean to, but it's important to understand who is in your circle and if people are serving your goals and the life that or your lifestyle, or they may be moving in a direction where it may not be that great. So, or sabotaging. So we've spoken about this circle of influence episode, season 1. You have 4 stages. You have your sabotages, you have your neutrals, you have your praisers, and you have your engagers. These are the 4 stages of your circle of influence. Your sabotages, just eat the cake, skip the gym, don't go. Okay. They can just go for a bender, whatever it may be. You got your neutrals, people that don't really give a fuck. They do whatever you want. That's fine. They don't commit with you. They don't say anything. They just let you do your thing. Okay. You got your praisers, people that's rooting for you. They're backing, they're in your corner, really supporting you, but they're not really taking the step into active change with you. And that's where we got the engagers. They're the most important people that will serve you and so you guys can grow together. Now, it's important to understand where the people in your circle, whether it's your workmates, your family, like in your family, your best friends, stuff like that. And again, bottom line, it's a lot to say in 2 minutes. Let's just make it clear that we're not here to say you have to cut people out of your life. It's just important to understand how much power you want to give these people because they can influence you. We're social-based creatures and we need to understand that is an important factor. So recognize where they are, work them up the chain if you can. You can't get it from here to here, from a sabotager to an engager straight away. Just so you know, you work them up the chain so you guys can grow together, or you can be able to control how much power you want to give to them, whether they serve you or not. That's a lot in 2 minutes, eh? I'm flustered as fuck, dude.
That's a lot in 2 minutes. That's the chain, my man.
That's the chain, baby.
That's the shit. No, exactly right. Circle's massive and we're social creatures, so we definitely take on what is around us, and we have unless you're completely introverted, but even then you typically want to find a little space to be introverted with, particularly with
community.
maybe with other introverts. That could be negative or positive, depending on what's going on. But yeah, ultimately you want to be able to back yourself regardless of what people are doing around you, but use people around you like a supplement rather than a necessity. So that way you can choose who you're surrounding yourself with. But if I'm assuming what you're talking about is people that you may not be able to choose, it could be maybe potentially people from work, they're going to be there, or people that you will directly influence you, family, mum, dad, fucking sister, brother, whatever, people that aren't going anywhere. Yep. That's where you got to understand how much power they currently have over you and your decisions and your actions, and don't underestimate that either, because a lot of people do underestimate it and they think, oh no, I'm my own person, I'm strong-willed and all this sort of shit. I'm sure you are, We all can make our own decisions, and you do have complete power and control over what you do next. It doesn't mean you're not being influenced by your circle, It's about your subconscious mind, what that's actually doing. If you're part of the herd, you got to be able to realize, what is my herd actually doing? What direction are they headed in? If that's not the direction I want to head in, I need to do something about that. So take them up the chain, take them up probs. Are they sabotaging me? Take them up that chain. Because if not, it's going to make it fucking incredibly hard. Every single difficult thing you need to do will be 10 times harder, because there will be resistance from those people that actually care about you. And we've spoken about this in previous podcasts. They're doing it from a place of love.
Yes.
Typically, not always, but typically they're doing it in a place of love because they do care about you. They love you the way you are, so they don't want to see you change. They don't want to lose that. They don't want to lose that connection.
Correct. And or even alternatively, they could do it out of their self-gain, because it makes them feel better, because they're like, oh, my friend's doing it with me, make it so you can warrant that behavior. It could be that drinking night. I don't want to drink, or I don't want to do whatever. Like, I just really want to focus on my goals. They're like, no, you can have fun, all that type of stuff. It may be just to make them feel better, because I'm like, oh, I brought my friend into it. So that's a subconscious sabotage as well. Again, these are not things that you say that you have to cut these people out of your life. I'm sure these people are awesome and great. It's just about dosage, supplementing it right. So, yeah.
And as you get better, I tell every single one of my clients, particularly if their partner is not also coaching with me, or if their partner is not involved in the health fitness space or taking care of themselves, I say, you will start to see awesome results, and you 100% will get resistance from the people that care about you.
Tall poppy.
Exactly right. They see you grow, they're like, fuck, they're going to leave me if they keep growing. So if you can expect that, just catch it out, be like, oh, Jamie and Dan said they were going to do that. No, that makes sense. So I can ease that tension a little bit. They will get over it. If you just continue on and include them, if they don't want to be included, don't include them. Just keep doing what you're doing. 100%. Eventually, they'll get used to it.
And you know what? Also, like, one thing is that you can be the influencer as well. The positive influencer. So cool. As with seeing clients, how they start involving their partners, or they get inspired by their partners or their friends to say, oh, I'm doing this thing because my friend's doing it now. I don't think I would run nearly as far if I didn't have an awesome circle that wanted to run as well, with the marathons and stuff like that, for my case too.
Wanted.
Yeah.
Wanted to run.
Wanted to run. It was all wanted.
None of that was wanted.
Yeah, no.
The experience was amazing though.
Incredible.
I'm glad we did it because the experience was sick, but fuck running. Big fuck you to running. So my number 2, or the collective's number 4, the reason you're stuck is because you're changing the icing without baking the cake first, all right? Or changing the filling. So I've used this analogy before. The majority of people get into the health and fitness world, or the self-betterment world, or self-bettering world, like a cake, where they're putting the icing on this absolute turd of a cake, all right? You can also use the analogy of polishing a turd, Have you heard that one before?
100%.
I love that one. Polishing a turd. It means that your base is shit, in case you didn't realize. But you're putting icing on without first baking that cake. So there's no foundations. That shit's just going to crumble down. So the icing could look like 6-week challenges. It could be looking like just completely locking in for 8 weeks, getting some good progress. But what happens after that? You need to first bake the cake. You changing the icing every 6 weeks or 6 months is not going to make the cake taste better. The cake is still going to taste like shit because you've never actually changed what's inside. You've never changed the foundations. The foundations of working on your mindset, your identity, your relationship with food, your relationship with the people around you, how you're aligning your goals with your values and the things you actually care about, making it not just about yourself, but about how you're showing up for everybody else in your life, the things you really, really, truly care about, understanding why you're doing it in the first place, finding out what your limiting beliefs are and actually working through that also. The list goes on. You need to first find out, what am I putting in this mix? What is my mix? What is my fucking foundation, or the actual, what do you call it, the bread? The yeast? Not the yeast.
I hope it's not the yeast.
Well, I'm going to bake it. I'm going to bake it. What do I bake with? Flour? What are my ingredients that are going into my actual cake? What is going into my base of my cake before I put the icing on? Once you have that cake actually baked properly and it tastes fucking delicious, then put that icing on. Oh. Then you get to choose your icing. You can decorate it however you want. You can make it look all pretty. Once you have the base, you've got some good results, seeing that, either fat loss or lifestyle change or whatever that looks like for you, getting stronger, getting fitter, being more of a role model for the people around you. Then you can start putting that icing on. Then you can start really locking in and pushing it further for, the next 8 weeks, getting little boosts, but you got to make sure you're not putting icing on before you bake the cake.
Yeast.
I don't think I've baked a cake before.
I've never baked
like a real cake.
I've done a brownie mug. That's,
of course you've fucking done a brownie.
Go on, just saying. It's one of my favorite analogies ever.
Polishing a turd?
Polishing, that's a good one. No, bake the cake before you put the icing on. I think about this a lot, and I think about love cake. I think about a lot of like the role as coaches, and like how people ask like, why is, these coaches out here, these lifestyle coaches think they have to be a life coach, or they have to be this certain person where they have to, why isn't it just not about programming and just about giving them calorie targets and stuff like that? Why do we actually look at this? And why is it so relevant is purely because of that. That's exactly what it is. We look at the foundations. We look at the cake to see how can we make it taste better? And so you can be able to keep going and keep this momentum going for life. It is, with the amount of information out there, with the AI, with all of these things at the disposal of from your phone, why are people still not achieving what they want? Why are still people not able to lose the weight and keep it off? Why are they still not be able to get stronger or be fitter or make it work with their lifestyle? It always comes back to foundations. And that's why we're so passionate about this, is because we're not here just to get the result, because the result is the byproduct. It's the fucking awesome shit that comes with that development process of making the cake. So yeah, I'm a big fan of it. Big fan of it. Lifestyle, baby.
You want to be able to eat that cake for a long time, and you're not going to eat that cake if it tastes like shit, essentially. Would you continue to eat a cake if you had an endless cake? This cake is going to last your whole lifetime.
Whole lifetime.
This cake is going to last your whole lifetime. You're not going to continue to eat that cake if you hate the taste. You're not. Because that would be fucking dumb.
Yeah, it'd be dumb.
That would be stupid.
And people stop eating the cake, and then they probably they come back to it. We're like, I'm just going to go hard on eating that shitty cake for 6 weeks.
Yes, exactly right.
And then they stop again, and they go back to the same cake.
It's fucking mind blowing. You come back to the same cake. You're like, it still tastes like shit, but I'm going to I'm going to eat that shit.
I'm going to knuckle down. I'm going to grit it. I'm going to fucking eat it.
Yuck. Yuck. Why am I still fat? Doesn't make sense. You wanted to eat the cake.
Make it make sense.
Just eat the fucking shit tasting cake. You need to eat that shit cake.
Eat the cake that you want.
How about you fucking just design your own cake, make the fucking result, get the result from the cake that you actually enjoy. You can do it. It's been done 1 million fucking times now.
Yes.
We do it every fucking day with people. Just do it fucking properly once.
And that's
Fuck.
it. Just eat the cake, man.
Your turn.
Tastes good. Question. I'm gonna stop saying questions. Fuck. 2 minute time. Fuck. Where am I?
Go.
Okay, 5 seconds.
You got an extra 5 seconds, mate.
Thanks, man. Sorry, the last thing I wanted to say. Fuck, that was so good. Anyway, my final one is you don't actually care. Oh, I'm gonna start that again. How do I stop? All right. You don't actually care enough. Whoa, Dan, that's fucking mean. Of course I care. Of course I care. What do you mean? Why do you think I'm on this journey? You actually don't care enough. You okay? So, put it down. So, what I mean by that is that you do not have a why that's relevant to you, most likely. And this is actually this can be really relevant to people who have stagnated for a while, maybe got a little complacent, maybe got a result, but haven't really seen much change for a little while because they're in that limbo period of like, I've gone through the shit. I've hated myself. Now I feel good now. And then that next level or that next step is like, I'm fine here. And this is where I'm going to speak to those particular people and also people that's obviously just think about relevant why. But why is the why so important? It's because it's the backbone of everything that you do. And it's your low motivation cure, and it really helps you like not just want to move the needle, but need to move the needle to the next direction where you want to go. This is so important to reevaluate your why, periodically reevaluate your why. Look into, because as you're progressing, as you're growing, as you're improving, your why changes, your circumstance changes. Maybe there's not as much pain anymore. Or maybe there is a lot of there is pain, but you haven't digged enough. So peel back those layers like an onion. Look into what is the relevance, what is the importance of your goals. What is going to unlock for you? Why do you need to move away from where you are right now? Those things are so important. If you keep peeling them back, you start to get into the meat of actually what you're doing this for and why you're doing this. So have a strong why. Have a strong why, especially if you're in that middle period of like, where do I go to the next step? So look into your pain point and a common one, I was about to finish, a common one to say, if you're in the same position on now, 6 or 12 months down the track, even though things are good, but you know things can be better, because in 6 months' time, that's enough time, how would you feel? I'd feel pretty shit. Why is that? You decide. Dig deeper.
Dig it out.
Dig it out.
Also, little reminders.
It's
easy to, particularly if you're going on a multi-year journey, which the majority of people are. If you are looking at sustainable results, long-term results, you will be doing this for years and years and years. So understanding why you're doing the thing and having reminders of that, particularly in your low periods, is paramount. It's super important. But yeah, even not necessarily not wanting it enough. A lot of people have these goals where they actually don't want it enough, or they may not really care about it, but they thought they want it because they see it on Instagram, or their friends are doing it, or this, that, or the other, or Jennifer at work has lost 20 kilos. You're like, oh, well, it'd be nice to lose maybe 10 kilos, but the lifestyle that requires doesn't actually resonate with you, and your values are strung so that you actually care about other things way more than that. And that's totally fine. There's no right or wrongs here. Luckily for you, you get to live your own fucking life. We're not telling you to lose fat. We're not telling you to exercise. Obviously, there's benefits to both of those things depending on your circumstance, but you ultimately get to choose what's right for you. But it's about seeing first what the other side looks like. You won't know unless you fucking try. You won't know unless you give it a go. You won't know unless you actually unpack what means something to you, what is actually valuable, and what you really, really care about. So for example, a lot of people say, I fucking say this all the time, but kids, if somebody with kids, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say 99 times out of 100, that's their top value.
100%.
Why do they work? To get money for the kids. Why do they fucking cook? For the kids. Why do they wake up early? So they can fucking do whatever. It's for the kids. So understand, you will show up as a better person for them if you do have more energy, you do have more vitality, all that sort of shit. So
correct.
Aligning your goals with what you fully fucking resonate with and what you completely care about and what your top values are is number one. So it may not be that you don't care enough about the result either. It could be that you don't understand how that result is going to affect the things that you really care about, whether you pursue it or whether you don't pursue it. But no, also, a lot of people really don't care about their result. A lot of people don't actually care about the goal that they set because it doesn't, like, I don't know.
There's a lot.
Let's say you've got a client that's fucking, you might have had them for, I've had clients that, you know, they've been with me for 10 plus years. One of my clients been with me for 11 years. Do you think his goals have stayed the same over those 11 years? Fuck no. A million different goals. If we ran through what those initial goals were, he'd be like, that's fucking weird. I wouldn't write that down now. You know, because circumstances change. So aligning yourself with what you actually care about is key. Yeah.
Very nice. Last one, man.
Fuck.
Let's do this.
This is right on the last thing.
Yeah.
Shit, we're on. Oh, so on top of that, my last one and the collective's last one is, I read it and then I forgot it. You don't actually believe you can achieve it. And it could be a similar scenario. You could be like, no, Jamie, look, I know I can do it. I know I can lose that weight. I know I can fucking get to the gym. It's fine. You may consciously think that you can. You may consciously understand that you can, but subconsciously, potentially through previous experiences, past, you know, what you've done in the past, you may have lost a bunch of weight, put it back on. You may have tried a little gym program, hated it, failed, started again. There could be something in the background that's making you subconsciously believe, I'm never gonna fucking do that. I'm not gonna achieve that, or I may achieve it, but I'm not gonna sustain it. So what's the point of even starting? You know, so you need to first understand that I need to break down my negative beliefs. I need to break down my bullshit beliefs before I move forward. Because if I don't do that, I may start seeing results, but if my anchoring and my home is still, I'm never gonna do that. I'm just somebody that's fat. I'm just fat. You know, that's just who I am. My friends know me as Fat Susie or whatever it is. And I'm just the person that is always on a diet, and then I just revert back to square one. If that is your belief system, no matter how much you think you could achieve the goal, you're still going to revert back to that because your subconscious, deeply, deeply ingrained belief is, I can't achieve awesome results, or I can't achieve results and maintain it. So you need to first understand why that is, unpack that, figure out what actually fucking went wrong in the past, how you could change that, what you do differently this time, and making sure that you're aligned with all the things that you're doing. All right, understanding you, like we said on the previous point, understand why it actually is important to you, why it needs to happen now, not in another 2 years. You know, understand that you can achieve the result because you are a human. You can see physical change. You need to change your belief system. You need to understand that if I do not change my belief system, I will not either I will not achieve the result, or I definitely won't maintain it.
And that's all she wrote, man.
That's all she wrote.
She wrote such a big one, probably arguably one of the biggest ones. Mm-hmm. And if you're looking at the bigger picture, again, these are things that may can impact you right now. But you can, I know, again, you can push some of these aside, and these 6 things that we talk about. Say, I'm like, oh, don't worry about my friends. I can deal with it. I know my looming beliefs is there, but you know what? I know if I just work hard enough, it will just go away. A lot of these things can come back and bite you eventually. That's why they're so big. That's why these are big things that people need to address, that people avoid. Look into these things, or not. If you don't want to, it's fine. But know that these are going to be obstacles that are very common obstacles that can affect you long term. How do we know? We've done it ourselves. We've seen it. We see it every day. The hundreds and hundreds of people that we work with. So we don't like to fuck around with this. We'd like to be very real with you guys, and we hope you got the value out of it. I'm going on this natural segue out. Did you want to mention anything else?
No, I think, there's 6 things.
There's 6 things.
If you are stuck, let us know which one resonated with you the most. I think they're all big ones in particular. Like, I think we summarized a few of the top things that everyday people deal with. They're all very valid and very important. And depending on your scenario, they're probably going to come up at least once.
But you also have unique issues as well. So if you have those concerns, obviously talk to a professional in general. If you feel like you are lost and you can't make it, or come talk to one of us and we'll be able to point you in the right direction, because we love doing this shit.
No point doing something now if you're going to be in the same position you are now in 6 months.
Correct.
Deal with the fucking shit that matters.
This is the Split Shift Podcast. My name's Dan.
My name's Jamie. Oh,
Perfect.
there you go.
We'll see you next week.
Bye. The energy just dropped off at the
I
end there.
know,
Right?
that was like
that got a
real
bit like that.
shit, yeah.
Try that again. This is the Split Shift Pod.
My name's Dan.
My name's Jamie.
And we'll see you next week.